Okay, with your food.
Good afternoon, and thank each and every last one of you guys for once again tuning in to the Road to Your Life show, where it has set in us yet again issues with CPS in a state near you. A lot of you guys think that these situations that goes on are isolated situations that does not affect you. However, it affects many of women and men across the United States. Where CPS will come into your home and illegally remove your child if they feel as though they don't like your attitude. Can you imagine being a mother or a father and having a Department of CS be contacted on false allegations? They knock on your door and tell you who they are and where they're from. Then they demand to come into your house. And if you don't comply, allegedly, they'll tell you you will be the next black bee that lose her kids in the state of Florida. On your life. What has saddened me on this afternoon, yet again, another child illegally removed for the custody of a loving home, working class woman in Florida on Road to Young Life with Stop CPS organization here out of North Carolina, streaming from North Carolina once again, Texas. Guys, they work so hard, they don't keep still, trying to help these young women get these kids back from CPS who illegally removed their kids. Um, Good afternoon to you, Tafara. How you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. And yourself?
I'm good, Tafara. You know I messed your name up. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I keep it moving. I keep answering.
Everybody
I
know
know
I
you
will
talking
mess
to
your
me.
name up. Yes. Thank y'all for being understanding. Tafara, can you tell everybody where you're from, what type of work you do, for the ones that don't know?
Okay, so I'm a social worker. I was working in the field of child welfare until I was fired. I worked in that field for over 10 years, but I've worked in human services well over like ew, 15, 16 years or more. Um, I was in the child protective system as a investigator. I investigated kids under the age of 17 that were abused, neglected, or for dependency issues. But it became a point where I was investigating kids that I felt were safe, investigating them for no reason, doing things that were, just went against what I felt, what I knew was right, just against my morals and ethics. And for me, it was the pushback of me, voicing my opinion on what I felt was right and what needed to happen with, these families. And so in doing that, I actually went to the doctor and was diagnosed with high blood pressure. I was at stroke level. So I was taken out of work. I went out on leave, and from there, me and Amanda both had the same thing going on. Just just tired of the system, just tired of what the system was doing to families. Meeting families and discussing with families, just like when you get to a point and a family asks you something about why you removing them or what are you doing, and you honestly can't tell them why, and you're just stuck with like, I don't know. I don't have the answer for you. It's a problem. It's a problem. And with that going out on leave, just coming up with a plan to actually help families. So now I'm still a social worker. I'm just not in the child protective system.
Wow, thank you for that. Thank you for that, guys. So these people right here that's helping out these young ladies are from Child Protective Services. They used to work for CPS until they exposed CPS. They said they could no longer keep going into these women homes and men homes and ripping those kids out of houses that they did not feel as though these kids should be removed. So they decided to write a book about the rights of that the parents have and the rights that CPS have. Somehow someone got an attitude about what they did and terminated them. So they have gained it up together and started their own organization. It's called Organizations of CPS. and they were very hard on protecting the rights of these parents that's losing their kids unlawfully due to CPS in your state too. Amanda, welcome to the Road to Your Life once again. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's great to see you.
You too.
Can you tell me what you do, Amanda, briefly, and where you worked at, and the purpose of you doing what you do?
Yes, I've been a child abuse investigator for over 10 years. I started to help children. I wanted to keep children safe. That was the belief that this system taught me. But throughout my career, my 10-year career, I saw that I was no longer able to keep families safe at the same time. I felt like I was going out to people's homes and doing things illegally. It went against the social work code of ethics. I did not understand. I did not understand what was happening. Why was I going out to these people's homes? And then it came to a point where, I had to go to the county attorney's office because due to a made up HIPAA violation by my director. And at that point, I knew my voice wasn't safe any longer in this system. And I
Wow.
made the decision to fight back and partner with parents that were also going through this problem. The unchecked power of this system. If you do not comply, they will come for you. And so the knowledge that we have of the system, everything that we know, we are giving it to parents to help them understand how to navigate through this system. Operation Stop CPS, the mission is to educate society on the systematic oppression that continues to wreak havoc on the lives of families. Every time we're here, it's another family's pain, another child that's a victim, another parent that continues the trauma. And that is our mission, is to make the unbelievable believable. You cannot look at this woman's face. You cannot look at Miss Thomas and hear her pain and not act. That is our mission, to make people act.
Wow. Amanda and Tafara, thank you guys once again. I think I only been knowing you guys about 2 weeks. And within the 2 weeks that I have met you guys, I fell in love with you and what y'all stand for. And we have crisscrossed across the United States, sharing and serving these young ladies. We have teamed up with my media and with y'all educational that we bring awareness to the people so people can know what's going on with the CPS. I mean, we have crisscrossed against across the United States with y'all two driving cars, flying in, and me reporting and sharing. Like, who would have known so many different stories in so many different states, yet they all the same? CPS came in and illegally took my child. Hashtag stolen, kidnapped by CPS. On this day, guys, I would like to introduce y'all. I think her name is Shalita. Hi, Shalita.
Hi,
How are you doing today?
I'm finding yourself.
I'm doing great. I'm so sorry I had to meet you under these conditions, but I'm so glad that God gave me the ability to assist you.
Thank you.
Can you tell me about Matella? Is that how you pronounce her name?
My Taya, yeah,
Matella. Can you tell us how old she is?
she's 8.
Can you tell us about her character?
She's a loving child. She's outgoing. She has good sportsmanship. Um, she always strives to make me happy. Um, I remember putting her in soccer. That was like one of the last things, and she completely hated it. But she actually succeeded. She's just a loving child, and I miss her so much.
Can you take me back to when all of this stuff first began? It started with a Dodge Charger. Can you? Okay, guys, I must let you know, guys. Her daughter has been removed from her home as well as the rest of the young ladies that you see on this platform. So, can you take us back to how did CPS first get into your life?
Um, you said when they first came to the home.
Yes, what made them first initially come to the house? Can you start with the Dodge Charger?
Oh, my ex bought me a 2021 Dodge Charger, and the reason why I always emphasize on the year, because the year and the color is because it's not hard. It's It's not hard to it stands out. But he bought me a car. We broke up, and he pulled me over while I had my husband in the car with me, basically, and it started from there.
Okay, let's make sure we let people know your ex-boyfriend is a police officer of Clearwater, Florida.
Yes,
And also, allegedly, y'all broke up. He bought your car. You did not return the car because the car was in your name and he bought it for
yeah,
you. So
yes,
he became angry, he became bitter
yes,
because you went back to your husband.
yes.
So one day, you and your husband, was your boyfriend at the time, was driving down the street. And what happened?
Say that
While
one
he
more
was
time.
acting as a, what happened the day you and your husband was driving down the street
We,
while your ex-boyfriend was acting as a police officer?
right. Basically, he abused his powers. He pulled me over. He asked for me to step out the car and do a breath analyzer. Um, and that was just to humiliate me and to get me on to speak with me, because he know I don't drink. So I asked for a supervisor. I refused to blow, and I ended up going to jail. So they charged me with a DUI, but a felony DUI because I didn't blow because I had my child in the car, and that's
Wow.
how DC got involved.
Wow. So what you're telling us is your ex-boyfriend pulled you over, knowing that you don't drink at all, asked you to do
Breath,
a DUI checkpoint because you was with with your husband, now husband, being
yes,
that you did not comply to his order and your daughter was with you, the state actually gave you a felony DUI.
yes,
And that's how CPS originally got involved into your child life.
yes.
Wow. Tell us more about that story.
So I end up going to jail. Um, I end up going to jail. I end up bonding out, and then 2 weeks later, that's when CPS came knocking at my door. Um, and at first, like the neighborhood that I live in, like I'm literally the only black person that lives in my neighborhood. So when white woman, matter of fact, I didn't even see her. She kept setting off all the alarms on my camera. So I keep getting a ding to my phone. I'm like, what the heck? So I'm looking at the camera, and you got this lady going around my house knocking on the door. So automatically I'm like, okay, she's selling something. So I didn't even go, but she was persistent. So I end up going downstairs. And then when I go downstairs, then that's when my first and last time actually seeing her until um, yeah, we got into we just got in an argument basically because she felt the need that she could come in my house. And I'm like, I haven't done anything wrong. And you pulling up at this house, you see I live good. You're not pulling up to the projects or something in that nature. Like, you see where I live at. Um, then the allegations don't even have nothing to do with my daughter. So no, you're not coming in here. And while she was walking away, she said I was gonna be the next black bee that her kids took because I won't comply. And once that happened, I just kind of lost it, and we got to arguing. And she never had access to me again. She came to my house several times within 90 days. She harassed my daughter to the point where my daughter didn't even want to go to school. My daughter started missing the bus because she's telling me that telling her they're gonna take her if she don't talk. And I'm like, they can't do that. Tell them who mommy is. They can't take you. So I left it at that. They harassed her as much as I didn't stop her from going to school. I didn't have anything to hide. And when they took her, they sent me a text message. Nobody called me. Nobody showed up to the house. They took my baby. It's through a text message.
Allegedly, this I want to use the word kidnapping. I just want to use that word. Hijacking your child at school. You drop your child off at school October the 15th, 2021. And CPS, for no alleged reason, comes into that school. She was abused. She had no marks on her. She wasn't being raped or anything. Come to the school because the social worker, they investigator for CPS, had an altercation with you because you didn't want to like let her in your house. And
And
she
she,
said you'll be the next black B to lose your child.
yep, she disrespected me. She racially profiled me, and they targeted me from the jump start. When they came to my house, just their whole demeanor, you can tell, like they are so racist in Pasco County that it don't even make no sense. It wasn't even welcoming the way, like not welcoming, but when she came to the door, you could just tell like this is about to be a problem.
Wow. So on October 15th, 2021, when they went to the school and took your daughter, on what grounds did they have the right to take your child?
So the DCF, so with the DUI, they couldn't do anything, so they closed that case out. They closed that case out, and literally like 2 days later, me and my husband got into it. She wasn't even at the house because she leaves every weekend to go to Clearwater to her friend's house because she's the only child. So basically, me and him get into it. I threw a cell phone at him, and I took his work van because he was the way he parked to where I couldn't get out. So I just took his keys, went to Walmart, which is literally I got 3 floors. If you go on my third floor, you can see the Walmart parking lot, which where they found the vehicle at. But anywho, to make a long story short, they took her out the home because basically a domestic violence, and I am unable to protect her.
Wow. Amanda, can you break that down for us a little bit better? Because that don't sound like that's normal. I throw cell phones all the time. Does that make me not a great mother?
Right. So I think you used the right word, which is kidnapping, because this is all this is a kidnapping. The social worker initially told Shalita that if she did not comply, she was going to lose Matea. That's what she said. And so she couldn't find anything for the DUI. She couldn't find anything. Like Shalita said, she wasn't drunk. So then what did she do? The minute that another report came in, this altercation that happened and she wasn't even there, the social worker never even did an investigation. She just used that to take her away. This was trumped up. I've been able to read the petition and also the documentation. And what you see is the social worker going to school to try to get Matea to say something. She tries and she says, "No, I'm not talking to you. I wasn't there. I don't know anything about it." You see in the petition, it says she didn't even see anything. And then
Wow.
later on, you see them the whole narrative change. And
That
they say she said all of this stuff. And they use that to take this child away. There was no marks, there were no bruises, there was nothing happened to her, but they took her away through a text message. Now, I've never seen anything like it.
Tafara, Tafara. Um, a child is not at home. A mother and her husband or boyfriend gets into an argument. A cell phone is thrown. The child is not present. How do CPS have the right or the authority to go to the school? To me, Tafara, it seemed like they was harassing the child. What does it comes harassment from CPS to a child when they keep going back and harassing that child?
Um, so from that standpoint, I mean, the school should have taken a stance. School should have contacted mom to let mom know that this was happening and that this was going on, and that um, even a school social worker could have got involved and just tried to be that middle person and see what was going on. But to have a social worker to continue to come to the school the way that they were coming to the school, that's harassing the child. I mean, taking her out of class and talking to her at any time, whenever you felt the need to, that's harassment. it's,
Wow.
it's nothing more it's nothing more than harassment, and it was up to the school system because they have eyes on the child. Mom's not there. And had mom known that the harassment was to this level, because Matei was saying they're coming to the school, they're gonna take me, but the school had an obligation too to inform mom, like this is what's going on. We don't know, and they didn't do that. They continued to let CPS, and of course, we know all these systems work together. But at the same time, it could have been a different outcome had the school got involved more.
Amanda, what do CPS investigator step over the line from investigating to harassment? Where is the line at between investigating and harassment?
So the only job of an investigator is to ascertain facts to make a decision. And so if you are doing anything other than that, it's harassment. That's it. The minute that that social worker went to the school to talk to Matea and she got enough information to see she was safe, she shouldn't have went back. She shouldn't have went back because as soon as you have enough information, you should no longer you shouldn't be engaging with families any longer. And so this was a personal vendetta. She was trying to find something. She was on a mission to take this child, and she was not going to stop until she was successful.
To Pharaoh, bullying. What is the line drawn at for bullying? Because the child is now complaining to her mother that she's afraid to go to school because the CPI in Florida is going to come take her. Did this cross the line of becoming not an investigator, but the big bad wolf, the bully?
Of course, of course, but they're not, in the eyesight of CPS is, they're not bullies. They're not bullies. They look at themselves as protectors. So no matter how many times they actually said something to this child, in their head it's not bullying, but she's clearly telling you that there's nothing happening. There's nothing going on, and that's it. At that point, you have a duty to close that case, to leave that child alone because she's saying there's nothing happening. I mean, we say that in regards to like, okay, when and I don't want to tell because I want Shalita to actually tell her part of what's going on now. But it's funny how now when the child says there's nothing going on because she's being coerced to say that, then they want to stop. They don't want to do anything now because now that she's saying that, oh, okay, she's doing, she's just talking, but when she said at school, like, there's nothing, like, stop bothering me, there's nothing, I wasn't there, that should have stopped from jump. She wasn't there. That's it. She wasn't there.
Talia, I'm so sad that your child was bullied by the Department of Child Protective Services. The same ones that's supposed to protect and serve our kids are actually the boogeyman to our children. Your daughter became afraid. She started complaining about going to school. She started missing her bus intentionally because she was afraid of Big Bad Wolf coming. CPS workers keep coming to her school. Right now, you trying to figure out, what do I do? Do I keep her home? Do I keep her at school? And you decide to send her to school, and they steal your child out her classroom. What was your first reaction when you got that text message and you found out where you sent your child? She is no longer there.
Well, my when I got the text message, 'cause I usually walk down to, because the bus comes right to the house, in front of my house, kinda. But I live in like a cul-de-sac, so all the kids is like being in front. So when she sent the text message, I was already looking out the window for to get off the bus, and I think I went back on the call or something because I do stocks, so I be trying to multitask, and I work from home. So she got off the bus around like 4:30. I went back to my computer and I didn't even think nothing of it. So it was like 4:45, and 4:30 is persistent. It never changes. It's never after 4:30. It might be 4:18, 4:20. It's never after 4:30. So I check my phone, but when I'm checking my phone, I got this text message from CPS telling me that they took her from school. And my initial instinct was, um, they gave me the address a while back, and I literally like live like 5 minutes from there. So I went to the office, was banging on the door, and things like that, and they wouldn't let me up.
Wow. When was the last time you actually had physical contact with your daughter?
October 22nd.
October 28th. Wow. Breaking up a little bit.
October 22nd.
October the 22nd. Okay. Did they tell you what grounds they had to take your child? Your child was not child abuse. Your child was not put in danger. What grounds did they give you that your child was removed from your home?
Um, to be honest with you, they didn't really give me no grounds. I actually, me and Operation CPS, it went for a while before we even realized or even known, because we didn't have no paper. They didn't even give me no paperwork. They didn't give me anything. The paperwork that they did give me, they text messaged to me. They didn't even have the audacity to come and bring it to me, email or nothing like that. So it was a while before we even found out why she was even taken.
Wow.
Um, I had always originally thought it was for the DUI, and it wasn't. That's when I found out, like, it closed. And
Wow.
yeah.
So basically, you telling us, is CPS ever come and want your child? They can take your child without giving you no valid reason, and it could be for your life.
No, they can't. They can't. They have no rules. They have no regulations, and they have the state that backs them up. So with the
Wow.
state behind them, they can do any and everything that they want. All it takes is for a phone call, and if they want your child, they can take your child.
Let's go here. You well to do. You live in a nice cul-de-sac neighborhood. You got a 3-bedroom house. Your daughter have her own bedroom. She's taking ballet. She's also doing gymnastics. You got her doing everything for her time positive. She's very active. Her father, in and out of jail, never really put no time into her. She really don't know, and she know of him, but he never came and picked her up. He don't drink her Kool-Aid. How did CPS place your child in the custody of him and his mother?
So if anybody knows, and I'm new to this, but if anybody knows, and if you follow any type of PI stories, they are going to place the child with whoever is against you. They're not going to place the child with anybody for you. So they denied my sister. They denied everybody. My sister's a nurse. She lives an hour away from me. They denied my friend. They denied my mom. They denied everybody. So the the father, we haven't seen him since 2017. The mother, we ain't seen since 2018. But they were against me. So the mother, me and the mother never been on good terms, because she always felt like I should take my daughter to go see her dad when he was incarcerated. And I wasn't raised like that. My dad was in and out of prison. So no, I'm not doing that. So me and the mother was never on good terms. How she ended up getting custody is because she was against me, and she's 4 hours away from me. She didn't raise
Wow.
her kids. The father, he lives there. They know he lives there. He's not supposed to be living there. But the reason why she got custody, because he has an open case of an armed robbery with a deadly weapon. He just got out in July or August, or whenever Father's Day is. That's when he got out.
So he got an open case. He just got out of jail recently. He been in and out of jail his whole life, basically almost.
Yes.
Um, he got an open case for armed robbery, and CPS actually gives his mother custody of your daughter, which is 4 hours away from you, who have not the grandmother have not seen her since 2018, and the father have not seen her since 2017. When you had your mother that stayed close to your sisters and them pleading for the custody of your child, they put this child in the paternal grandmother house, which her father lived, and have all these open cases, or this open case on robbery.
Yes.
Is it true that your daughter had her own bedroom at your house?
She had her own bed, her own bathroom, her own play area. It was literally like me and her lived there, because my husband, he has a business in St. Louis, so he's there every other week, kinda. Um, so
Where
it
your
was
daughter
us.
sleep now? When she with them?
She either sleeps with her grandma or on the couch. Yeah.
So they took her from a loving home, her own room, and put her on someone basically almost a stranger couch.
Yep, somebody that now is touching her when the father is touching her when the
We'll go
grandma.
in 1 second.
Yeah.
Wow. Take me to the phone call. The phone call. She have a best friend. You said she has a best friend that you allow her to spend the weekend with because they was like the only child. So they spend a lot of time together. They was like sisters, They
Yeah.
talked, they communicated. Tell us our best friend.
So I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois, and the best friend mother, me and her went to school together. We grew up together, and when she moved here in 2018, I moved here in 2009. Well, when COVID hit, so that was 2020. So I've been here like almost a year or over a year. Um, so they all their lives, like yeah, all their lives they've been together. They 7 months apart. Um, yeah. So
The best friend contacts, was it you she called or was it a teacher? Who did the best friend contact to tell the most horrific story that you ever want to hear about your child?
so she originally contacted me, but when she contacted me, I was driving, and I needed somebody else to record what she was saying because I was driving, and this needed to be out and heard. Um, it's one thing when she's saying it, but I needed other people to hear her say it as well. So I called
What was she
somebody.
saying?
Basically, my daughter called her on Snapchat. I didn't even know my daughter had Snapchat. Called her on Snapchat and let her know that her dad touches her when his mom goes to work.
Wow. If y'all can just give me 1 second, guys, I'm gonna play the video from the best friend when she got in contact with the mother and someone else and told her that Talia's daughter called her on Snapchat and told her, help me, best friend. When my grandmother leave the home, my father is molesting me. Help me. I got to go. I can't be here long. Help me. The best friend contacted the mother and someone else, and this is the recording they got from her. My parents had called me on Snapchat. She had told me that her grandma goes to work, that her dad touches her. Okay, so is her dad? So has Natea told any teacher yet? What? Has Natea told any teacher yet? No. When did Natea tell you this? A couple days ago. Okay, and you know that nobody is supposed to touch you in like the bathing suit area, right? Yeah. And is that where he's touching her? Yeah. What did Matea say to you exactly? She said she started crying. She said when her grandma got here, that her dad touches her. Okay. Did you say anything else? No. I feel so bad. Okay. Then she hung up. Now. Okay. So what did you do? Did you call Miss Shalita to let her know that? Yeah. Okay. Honey, that was very good. That was smart. I didn't get this call because she was talking fast and then her dog was fast. She just hung up. Okay, so she wanted to let you know real quick and hung up. Okay. DCFS has on me and my child's life. December 2nd, my daughter's best friend called me saying that my daughter called her through Snapchat and let her know that her dad is touching her inappropriately when the grandmother goes to work. Not only did they take her from a stable home, but they placed her home to where she's being sexually abused. Can't protect her. Guys, this is a little girl that's calling and trying to get her friend some assistance. She say, this really hurt. I know this is hard for you, Talia. What did you do after receiving that phone call? Who did you contact to inform them that your child now is allegedly being molested?
Um, I reached out to the DCFS worker, and they changed the narrative around and said that basically it's somebody called or something, and they're trying to change the narrative around basically my daughter and her friend is lying.
That little girl, you heard, Amanda, the pain in her voice, how hurt she is about what's going on with her friend. As an investigator for over 10 years, Amanda, would you have taken that phone call serious or not?
I would have definitely taken that phone call seriously. I would have listened to what Kaya is saying. Listen to the hurt in her voice. Look at the facts. Does she have a Snapchat? Did you go look to see if she has a Snapchat? Do you go look at the history? Have had the investigator spoken to the best friend? No, she has not. All they did was try to fit their narrative that this mother is lying instead of listening to the outcry of Matea, like she's still there today because the system is failing her.
The same system. This is the
Social
same.
worker, to Farrah. You're a social worker. You deal with kids and their emotions and kids that tell the truth and kids that tell lies. Would this be a story that you think would be truthful or made up?
This would be truthful. You can tell just based off, and being a social worker for so long, you're able to weed out. Sometimes you miss it. When it comes to just certain things, not this. And when I say miss it, it's like, oh, okay, well, I didn't see she had 4 pair of shoes, something minute. But to hear this, right, and it gets me emotional because I know that she's telling the truth. Like, you can just sense that, you can feel it, that this child is not lying. And it's just it's real. As a social worker who worked in the system, um you should know, like, you should be versed in working with kids and know when you can feel that sense of they telling the truth. And we're gonna go deeper than that. Regardless of the fact, it was a allegation made. The allegation made was molestation, sexual abuse. That's all you need to start the investigation and pull that child from out of that home until that investigation is complete. That's it. You can't
Right.
dictate if a child is lying about sex abuse or not. You can't.
Wow. Shalita, have you found out if anybody investigated your daughter to find out if this story is true or not?
Yes. So I'm assuming they did the same thing that they did for me. They went to our school, and the CPI worker said that basically she said that this did not happen. And since she's saying that this has not happened, she said she went to the home and she didn't see any male clothes there. But she said that she also went there 2 days prior. She didn't look for clothes then, but she went back the second time, and that's when she did a pop-up well-being check, and she didn't see anything. And my daughter is not seeing that anything is happening. So,
Let me ask you this. What have your daughter told you about what's happening?
um, and the sad part about all of this is during her darkest moments, I can't even be there for her. Like, I haven't talked to her since October 22nd.
Okay, I'm confused. What do you mean? Your child was taken on October the 15th. The last time you was able to speak to your child was October the 22nd. You have not abused your child. You have not harmed your child. For what reason is there keeping your child totally away from you? Why you can't have visitation rights? Why you can't have phone call? What is the reason they stole your child and stole your rights to even speak to your child?
So when they originally took my daughter, she's 8. She didn't have a cell phone since she was 6. So when they took her, she wasn't allowed to take her cell phone with her. So um, our first visit was October 22nd. But before then, it was a whole week before I was speaking with her, but she was calling me on like her friend's cell phone because everybody got cell phones nowadays at school. She'll call me on anybody's phone she can call me on. So when we got to our visit, I snuck her cell phone, and we went. We went like a week or two talking, and then it just went kind of cold turkey because she asked because she reached out to her dad, and I said yeah. And once she reached out to her, not her dad, she reached out to her grandma because her dad didn't have a cell phone at the time. Um, it just kind of went downhill from there. So it went from her calling me every day, like at nighttime, she'd call me. She didn't call me at all. And so now they have new allegations stating that they investigate. They She's saying that I whoop her now or beat her now. I'm not even for sure because they don't have no recordings. This is what they're saying now. So once they get her out the home, now the whole narrative is changing. And so now they're saying that I need therapeutic visits, and it needs to be with a therapist through what we're doing right now, Zoom or webcam. When the father gets supervised visits with his mom. So she does the supervised visits with him, but with me, they're trying to make me get supervised visits with a therapist that they have yet to appoint yet, which is fine because I have actually got a therapist that's going to start doing the visits, but now they're dragging their feet of even approving this therapist. So now I'm just waiting basically because not only did I pay for a therapist, they're taking the slowest time to approve her.
Let me ask you this. I'm just thankful, like, ooh, I never had to experience that right there. Because a lot of people ain't strong enough to deal with what you got to deal with. How do you
Yeah,
hold on as a woman, as a mother, that have not did nothing but love your child, and now you've been accused of all these false allegations, and your child been taken from you?
yeah. Um, her, like her. That's what's keeping me going. That's what's keeping me motivated. Before I had reached out to Operations DPS, I just want to give like a big shout out to them because they have been amazing with helping me. Because I walked in here not knowing what to do. Like when you get your child stolen from you by the state, by a system, by a corrupt system, you need an army behind you, you know. But I literally her. That's what's keeping me motivated. That's what's keeping me. At first, I didn't want to tell nobody. I was embarrassed about it, but now that I'm angry, I'm hurt. I'm desperate. Like ain't nobody gonna be her voice but us, you know. And they're trying to silence that. So that's what's keeping me motivated. That's keeping me leveled. That's keeping me driven.
But you still have not told me one reason why you don't have visitation rights with your child.
Because of the therapist, they said I need a therapeutic visits. So they're trying to approve. They need to basically. I need a therapist, and I
Amanda,
found one.
Amanda, I'm sorry for cutting you off. I'm just Amanda. What's going on?
Right. It all goes back to that first interaction with that social worker where she said if she did not comply, she was going to lose her child. Why doesn't this mom, where there's no allegation? I mean, you have murderers that have visits with their children, but this mom can't even see her daughter or talk to her. This is personal. This is personal. There is not a reason that she can't see her. There is no reason. I haven't seen any. I mean, I've been able to
Me
see the
either.
petition. I've seen the and I've been able to look at the documents, and there is no justifiable reason why there is not court ordered visitation between mom and child.
And what state is this once again?
Florida. The child
Guys,
was removed from Pasco County, but the grandmother lives in Palm Beach County, Florida.
guys, we're asking you guys to reach out to the hotline number and let them know that we do know what's going on. These type of practices has to come to a cease. Guys, only way we can stop CPS from doing what they do is to continue to expose them and put pressure on them and let them know that the community is watching each and every CPS in whatever state you live in. What is the number, Amanda?
So it's the Florida Child Abuse Hotline. It's 962
Yes.
2873. Again, that's 1-800-962-2873.
If we want to name this case, what case would this be called?
It's Matea, MY apostrophe TAEH Tuggles. Tuggles. And if you go to our website, www.operationstopcps.com, and also our social media pages, you will see the link to the call to action. You have the whole call-in script. It has Matea's name, date of birth, the father's name, grandmother's name, everything that you need to take action and make a report. Their phone lines need to be blowing up. Like, we have to act. They are trying to silence these children. They're trying to silence this mother. They are trying to rip apart the bond between this Black mother and her Black child. They are trying to do that, and we can't allow them to do that.
Guys, also to make it easier, we have tagged after we end this video. You look at the top of this video, we have the stop CPS organization link up there. So once I end this video, you can just hit the link. It will take you directly to her story. Also, you can hit the link and will take you to Operation Stop CPS website, Facebook page as well. Before we go, Mrs. Okay, Tafara, what would you like to say in closing about this case?
What would I like to say to who?
Just in closing overall about this case.
We need the community. We need the community to respond. We need the community to keep responding. I know that several people have called and said that, they've been put on hold and it's the long wait. Walk away from your phone, do whatever you need to do, get that call going through. Um, just call. You have to keep calling. We have to let them know that we know, and we'll continue to let you know that we know.
Wow. You heard it here first. Talithia, what would you like to say to CPS about withholding your child and sending your child home? If the social worker is listening now on CPS out of Florida, what would you like to say to them? What would be your plea to releasing your child?
Say that one more time.
What would be your plea to the social worker and CPS in Florida about returning your child home? What would you like to say to them before we go?
Just have compassion and don't look at it like a job. This is a child. And it's one thing that you damage in my life, but you damage in the future, Like, this is trauma that's being done to her, not just to me, but to her as well. And nobody is not gonna love her like her mother's gonna love her, period. And just have compassion and return her home.
Wow. Wow. Guys, you've seen it here first. where we have crisscrossed the United States. What she's going to is not an isolated incident. It's happening across the United States where CPS is the boogeyman who will come to your home if anyone make a false allegation on you and snatch your child right out of your house or from their school. We got to stop CPS from doing what they want to do and make them follow the laws that's in place. We got to stop CPS allow social workers and investigators to put their feelings in place of these kids' safety and also their what they need to be at home with their family. The social worker, because the mother did not comply with her demands, she knocked on her door unannounced and allowed her just to walk through her house, say who she is, and search her house for no apparent reason, told her, you would be the next that be that don't have your child. And she meant what she said. And the child has been removed from the mother, stripped away, allegedly placed in an unsafe living condition where her daughter allegedly reached out to her best friend. And we have the recording saying that her father, when his mother is gone, her grandmother is gone, that her father is molesting her. My parents had called me on Snapchat and he had told me that her dad, her grandma swore that her dad touched her.
Okay, so is her so has Matea told any teacher yet?
What?
Has Matea told any teacher yet?
No.
When did Matea tell you this?
A couple days ago.
Okay, and you know that nobody is supposed to touch you in like the bathing suit area, right? Yeah. And is that where you're touching her?
Yeah.
What did Matea say to you exactly?
She said she told me hi and then she and her grandma got that her dad touched her.
Okay, did she say anything else?
No, and I feel so bad.
Okay, then she hung up. Now okay. So what did you do? Did you call Miss Shalita to let her know that?
Yeah.
Okay, honey, that was very good. That's smart.
What if it was your child? She was coming back and then she just hung up.
Okay, she wanted to let you know real quick and hung up. Okay.
What if that was your child? Social services came to your house and moved your child because you threw a cell phone at your husband and your child was not home in the house. How do social services or CPS have the audacity or the authority to come rip a child from a happy home and place her in a home where she's contacted her friends allegedly and saying that her father is raping her when his mother is not in the home? The mother has been stripped of everything, not just visitation rights, even a phone call. She cannot even reach out to her child to see if this story is true or not. She has to go on what the social worker said, boogeyman, the one that lied and falsified charges against her and snatched her child from her while her child was at school and sent the text message. Your child won't be home. We got it. Now they're alleging that the mother was beating the child when there were no charges of the mother ever putting her hands on her child to cover up once again for their mistakes. They're chunking up charges on this woman and allowing this child to be tortured by the hands of her father. CPS must be shut down and shut down in every state that we stay in. That's allowing these kids to be abused because of money. We must understand every child that CPS taking home is a group that's been developed. It's job security for those people. If it's no more kids been taken, then there will be no more need for CPS. They need a case near you. Will you be their next case? Like Talithia. Now, feeling helpless, hopeless, not knowing when the next time her child's father with an armed robbery open warrant case will rape her child again. I'm going to your live. Guys, please contact Florida hotline and let them know what they're doing. And we're tired of it. The number would be 1-800-962-2873. 1-800-962-2873 is a 24-hour hotline. Make your calls now. Guys, follow Operation Stop CPS. Guys, if you have any donations, you can also go to their link, Facebook, website, Instagram. It's Operation Stop CPS. In order for these to continue to operate, they need fundings. They don't have the money that you think they may have, but yet I watch them drive across the states in their vehicles from Florida all the way to Texas. Came from Texas, Dallas, Texas, just last week. Drove to North Carolina this week. Met the young lady, I think Brown, at court this week on Monday or Tuesday. Now drove all the way back to Texas, and then here they are again. Need to go down to Florida. I'm with Young Live, where I support Operation Stop CPS here at Hampton Road. Would y'all like to say anything else?
It's time to bully the bullies. Like, the Child Protective Services is a kidnapping gang, and they bully families. And for us as the people, it is time to come together and bully them. There should not be a place that they feel safe kidnapping our children at. Anytime that they pull up, we need to be ready to pull up too. We have to act now. Let's get Matea home, y'all. Let's get all of these babies home. We could do it. We can do it.
One
The
case
power
at
is
a
in the
time.
people. One
One
case
case
at a
at a
time.
time.
I
I'm
just want to
here for
thank you for having me.
you. You're welcome, my love. I'm here for you. I'm here for Organization Stop CPS. I'm just a phone call away. We're going to follow your case all the way through. And my platform, like I told you, Operation Stop CPS, is always open for you guys. Don't hesitate. Bring your cases to us, and we'll help you out with the situation. I'm Rhoda Young
Thank
Live.
you.
Tomorrow, anything else before we go? I love you guys.
Love you. Have a good one.